A couple of hours ago, a friend of mine gave me a call, and he told me that his family is pushing him away because he's got a staph infection. And he's renting a room, and it's quite separate from his uncle. And he doesn't want to go and stay with his parents anymore. He actually moved from there to his uncle, and he doesn't want to live with them at all either, even though that's kind of a separate apartment as well. And his uncle wants him gone. And I've got a spare room, and I'm going to have him over here. And I had heard the concept, and I know nothing about it. So I did a couple of hours of reading and thinking, and I think I can work with this. I think I can get him better. And I'm not really sure what I'm dealing with fully, and I'm not really sure how any of it works, but it seems like a lot of the practices that are going to be important for managing that kind of problem are just good practices in general, and I think we basically ignore them. And I think the problem isn't so much that he's got a thing that he needs to heal from, but that he's constantly reinfecting himself. I think that is as much a concern as for him as it is for other people. And it seems pretty straightforward to manage. I mean, it's a little bit more extreme because you've got to think about antibacterial soap and washing counters down and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not like anybody's going to be sharing toothbrushes or sharing towels or anything like that. So I'm just going to have him set aside a budget and purchase a bunch of stuff like spare towels, and he's going to have his own toiletry kit anyway. So that's not a big deal. And I think the biggest challenges are going to be things like, what do we do about sharing utensils? I've got a dishwasher that I don't otherwise use because, I mean, most people will want to collect a vast amount of unwashed dishes before actually using that kind of thing. So I'm going to have him use it, and it's got like a small mode. I don't know how to say it. And it's got a hot and dry feature. So I'm going to have him do that. And dealing with the shower is going to be a little bit weird. So daily spraying of some kind. I know there are some antifungal things that you can use for like fighting against what do they call it, like shower scum. There's a thing. So maybe just have that, and that ought to be good enough. And then just regular cleanings as necessary. Hand wipes, and put that stuff have a little alcohol hand sanitizer on the kitchen counter. And I think the biggest problem is going to be, other than dishes and shower and stuff like that, is going to be me learning to not touch my face, which is going to be really challenging. First, I'm very likely going to have to go back to using a traditional electric razor. I've been tinkering for years now with the standard double-edged traditional safety razor, not the like 10,000 blade thing that can cut you down to the bone, but the traditional just one blade thing that you put in a little handle, and I might have to stray away from that for the simple reason that it's pretty common to have to nick, and any kind of open area that gets touched by instinct is going to be an avenue for infection. And other than that, there's an adult cloud, I think is what it's called, where if it's respiratory for him, it's in his nose, sinuses, and he sneezes, then you've got a cloud of it. And I did actually find a research paper on that. So it's a thing. So that's kind of a concern. yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is, other than making this particular video, is maybe share the kinds of insights that I might glean from this experiment of mine. But what really does concern me is this is just one of those examples where he's still a young man, and he's renting from family. So, he's not living at home or anything like that, but he's being pushed away from all the people he knows. And the thing, I joked with him, but we both know it's dead serious. It's true that he wouldn't have been pushed away if he was their daughter. And I don't want to see him ostracized completely and not understanding what he can do with his life. An example of me touching my face. And I don't want to see him double his rent living in an apartment on his own and living behind a computer, never going out because he doesn't understand what's happening to him, and he doesn't know how to take care of himself properly, and all this kind of stuff. So it's not like I'm his dad, but this is the kind of thing that, at some point somebody has to care.